Thank you for clicking on this video. If you enjoy what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell to stay up to date with our latest content.
And hey, don't forget, check out our Patreon where you can be part of the dream and enjoy this transaction.
So PS5 sales. PS5 sales have finally slowed down a little bit. Finally, I say. So they hit 13.4 million.
Finally, you're right.
Yeah, they hit 13.4 million for their second fiscal year. That's as of September 30th. Now, still respectable. I'm not gonna. The numbers are still good. Like, you're still great numbers. However, this is 500,000 or approximately 500,000 shorter than they were for the PS4 sales around the same time. So, and by the way, Switch is in a similar situation, and apparently it's still going to get worse before it gets better because they still can't. Apparently, they're delivering PlayStation 5s on like 747 Boeings. Like not even going through shipping carriers now at this point, just to try to get them out here. So they're trying their damnedest. Again, there's a chip shortage, and I'm not talking about potato chips. If you watch our extra episode, you'll know. I'm not going to explain it here, but yeah, there's a chip shortage, so it's affecting everything. Switch, I believe they also had a number in mind. They're not going to hit it, or at least they're admitting they're not going to hit it. Again, PlayStation did the same thing. Chris, suddenly that games as a service model is looking pretty cool right now. Am I right?
Bro, you couldn't be more right. As the Xbox shill on this show, it is what it is. I love the Xbox. I love everything they're doing. I love the games that are coming out for it. I'm unapologetic at this point.
For the record, I love Xbox too, not as much as Chris, but I love what they've done. I'm a huge fan.
How many Vitas do you own?
One.
That's one too many.
That's
anyway,
also
go back to your home on Vita Island.
But ask me,
anyway.
how many devices do I have Game Pass on? All right, and it's like 5.
An infinite amount.
There's like 5 of them at least. Like
76.
Like I have it on my tablet. I have it on my phone. I have it on full out 76. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I love xCloud, by the way. I think for some reason, and this is gonna sound crazy, I think xCloud is probably my favorite feature of Game Pass. But we carry on.
And that's not crazy at all. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. It's fun as hell. I love it.
I was trying to get to Ivan. I'm like, just play the games on xCloud. It's like, oh, but the latency. I'm like, bro, the latency is not as I think it is.
Right. I think it depends on connection. Like, I've seen some games do run better than others.
Obviously.
From what I've experienced. But like, for example, like I played Psychonauts on it. I've played Hades on it. I've played Avengers on it. I played a little bit of Forza on it. I played Halo on it. And even though like Halo is not an experience I really want to play on it, but Avengers, it runs better than it does on at least the PC side of things. I'll be honest with you, because like even at the lowest settings, it still runs like shit. But through the xCloud, it's playable. Let's just put it that way. And I'm having a blast. I'm liking this Avengers game, dude. I'm coming off of Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm playing Avengers now. So yeah, this game of service is xCloud.
It's funny because I would love to play Avengers with you. I just
wait. It broke up.
Avengers.
Oh, you're not gonna play Avengers?
No, there's no way I'm playing Avengers.
I just want to play the campaign. I don't care about anything else. Like after I'm done with the campaign, I'm like, I'm not even gonna touch it again after this. So, but I do want to play the campaign.
There's no end game. There's no end game stuff anyway, so you're fine.
Yeah, I figured that. Anyway. So I'm loving the Kamala Khan. Like I don't know. It's
right.
Fun.
She's the best part of that campaign,
dude. I didn't think I would like her. Like I'm like, oh,
she's the reason. She is the reason why I was continuing to play that game.
I think she's gonna be the reason why I do too.
And she's the voice actress. I don't know who she is, but like she brought it home. Like you realize, like she makes you feel that the Avengers are a big deal, and like she's a fan, and then she has a responsibility thrust upon her. But then it's also this mix of situation, but she's still a child, and it's coming like it's just like it's so good.
Yeah.
And that's the shitty part about the game though, because something shines so bright, and then you just see shit around it.
Yeah. I haven't gotten that far yet where I think I feel like I see shit around it, but so far I've been having a blast playing on my tablet.
Hey man, great. More power to you, buddy. If you enjoy the game more than I do, I wish I could enjoy that game. I remember just playing the game and feeling so defeated, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm feeling.
I remember not being happy that I wasn't.
I got you.
Cause you know, like some gamers get a hard on for games being bad.
yeah, no kidding, absolutely.
Yeah,
People love
like,
to hate on shit.
Yeah, and like I remember being like, "Fuck, I love Avengers. I love their friends." I saw Shang-Chi last weekend, and I was like, "Oh, it's good to just watch good Marvel movies, boy." And I'm like, man, I wish I could just go play a Marvel game right now and feel the same way. And I'm like, Anyway, I digress. Going back to it, PlayStation selling less. I know we went on Avengers things. You just gonna I make the joke that anything's possible on Game Pass, but right now Game Pass, maybe not, obviously not on purpose, but because of everything that's going on, the world has just flown to the sun, and everyone's been loving it, and it's just like one of those things now. It's trying to get Game Pass to the casual market right now,
right?
Because like I was trying to convey it to one of my friends, like I need an Xbox, and I was like, technically you don't need an Xbox. I'm like, you need Game Pass. And I was trying to tell them, I'm like, hey, you already did it. Just trying to change the narrative, the conversation, because even Liquid, like on our earlier episodes of the microtransaction, you said it's not about consoles being sold, it's about subscriptions,
right?
And how it was even jarring for someone that so experiences you into the gaming market.
Yeah, it's I've always went by console sales. That's been the big thing. Hell, there was a book that I read by Blake Harris called Console Wars that talks about the fight between Sega Genesis and Nintendo at the time. Great read, by the way. But yeah, that's for years and years and years we've known this industry that's like you're top dog if you're the one who's selling. You're selling the most consoles. But now that narrative is changing. It's now subscriptions, and don't get me wrong, I don't know how many subscriptions, and I feel like nobody really knows how many subscriptions equal a successful like you know what I'm saying, like, hey, what's good, what's up.
Phil Spencer is already saying that Game Pass is very self-reliant already. How people remember the narrative being, and I know I'm sorry if I'm cutting into the episode.
No, this is great because this is kind of what I wanted to talk about.
Okay, but Phil Spencer, I'm sorry I hit that. Sorry for audio listeners. Anyway, but he said that it's already successful enough. It's already what is it, stabilizing?
Oh yeah, sure.
Like,
I think it's good. I think people
understand. It's already taking care of itself. It's already repelling Xbox and changing the conversation like we're having it, and PlayStation losing numbers because they bet on PlayStation being able to sell.
Right.
And normally they would be 1000% right. Nintendo would be 1000% right. Steam Deck also had a delay. We didn't talk about it, but I'm going to bring it up now because we're talking about console. Steam Deck got a delay, and it basically pushed everything back one fiscal year. So if you were getting it in January, now you're going to be getting it if you were getting it in spring, now you're getting it in summer, and they just shuffled everything that way. So if you didn't know, you had the Steam Deck, you're watching this, hate to be that guy, but you're getting your stuff at least 3 months later. Best case. But PlayStation bet on that, and normally they would be right, but the world didn't regroup fast enough, and now we're starting to see the pandemic. We're starting to see in gaming, and I know this sounds crappy the way I'm going to say it or phrase it, but we're seeing the downside in gaming when it comes to the pandemic.
Right, I agree with you. Now, I want to give a little pushback on that because I remember there was an article, and I just pulled it up right now as well, is that so there was even though, because the thing is we don't know, I feel like I know that's like you said, Phil Spencer said that and everything like that, but however it seems like at the end of the day, Xbox, they're not releasing their numbers. They don't release their numbers.
They did release numbers.
Well, I guess for console sales, they're not releasing numbers. Now, as far as subscription sales, by my I read actually, and I'm actually on IGN site right now, an article by Matt Kim. This was November 15th. This was actually just a few days ago.
3 days ago.
Yeah.
Of recording.
Apparently, the sales are falling down, is what they're saying. Apparently.
No. That happened. Remember, I brought it up in last week's episode, where technically the numbers had dropped down, but if you analysts were looking at it, and they were like, well, at the beginning, they went over their numbers. So in this section, they hit numbers, and technically they're coming up even.
That's what I was gonna get at too. Well, I guess it went up by 37.5 and then dropped by 47.8.
Yeah.
Is what it's saying. So it's actually it's taking more of a hit, is what it sounds like.
But the thing is, and I'm gonna say it, Halo.
And I'm glad you brought that up as well, because I also wanted to talk about that, because I know Halo's gonna hit, and I expect to see a raise in that number, obviously.
December 8th.
Not even just from Halo, even Forza, I expect to see a raise, at least a little.
It already did, apparently.
Yeah, so I expect to see at least a little bump, and I think Halo's gonna bump it up even further, obviously. And but this is what my question is that we've seen Game Pass before Halo, before Forza, essentially it thrive on third-party software, am I right? I mean, there hasn't really been big first-party IP out there, but third-party stuff has been really driving Game Pass home, in my opinion. At least for me, it has. And,
I would agree.
Yeah, so we mentioned the games here. When the first-party stuff releases, because essentially you that's got to be what they're waiting on, right? They're waiting for the first party stuff to finally get out there. All the studios that they acquired, start releasing some games. We're starting to see it. We see Forza, we see Halo, and then there's a lot of other stuff on the horizon. Do we see a slowdown on the third?
Was that a thing? Was that a pun?
Not intentional, but hey, we'll make it a pun. Fuck it, right?
Okay, I was like, because I was.
So, we see these things now. Do we see the third-party stuff slow down? Is what I'm trying to get at. And that's what I'm asking.
No,
really?
I don't think so. I think no. There's already what was it? Because it's escaping right now. There's a big third-party game. They're like, yes, it will be on Game Pass, and people were freaking the fuck out about it already. And I forgot the name of the title, but I remember I was like, ooh, boy. But that was before Halo came out. I was like, am I really gonna play it?
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? But that's a Chris thing. That's not like a general gaming thing.
Sure.
But no, I think Forza was it's already had the best sales of Xbox history.
Okay.
Game Pass and people playing it. I think concurrent wise on Steam.
Yeah.
It had
I
8 million people.
Right.
It shows that we are starved for quality content. And right now, as of the end of 2021, Xbox is the one shelling it out, because PlayStation is having a very quiet fall.
Right.
Switch is coming out with
Pokemon.
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Right.
Even though great things I'm hearing already.
Right.
But it doesn't have and it's wild to say it, but it doesn't have the new and shiny that a new Halo Infinite does, because it is a remake, like Liquid said on last week's episode. And I think I wonder if Halo and the hype of Halo will affect Pokemon at all. I don't expect it will.
Right.
What do you think?
If it would, no, I don't think it'll affect the hype at all. I disagree. Or not that I disagree, but no, I don't think so. I don't think it will affect it at all. It's just too different. It's just not. I don't think it makes sense. Now, I do want to bring up though is that I know I brought up Halo as far as the Game Pass, and I expect the numbers to bump up, but essentially you don't need Game Pass for Halo. You need it for the campaign, sure, but not the multiplayer. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm wondering. I still think there will be people who are probably confused, thinking they do need it. I think you're still gonna get a few of those in there, but I think but the good thing is you got them in, and now they'll be able to see the value of it, because it's a great value, obviously. But you see, I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no! I'm sorry, I cut you off in the middle of the sentence. Finish your sentence.
Well, I was gonna say that to your point, I was gonna disagree with you. I do think they dial it back with the third party software. I think once the first party software starts to come out, they start dialing it back, because why pay X amount of dollars to Square Enix or fucking who else am I thinking of? Third party shit that just came out, or that's like who did Back for Blood? I forget who they are, but whatever, you know, I think it's under, actually I think they're under Warner Brothers as a publisher, if I'm not mistaken. So why pay the Warner Brothers publishers for Back for Blood when you can have, like, you got Redfall coming out with a vampire, that game, you know what I'm saying? Like, why pay these third party companies when you could just, when you're doing it yourself? Like, these are why you bought these developers, right? To keep your shit afloat, to make people want, hey, come and take our shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you don't have to rely on third party. So I feel like it does die down. I don't think that's going to be a bad thing. I still think we get great things from their first party studios. I mean, hell, I was never a believer in Double Fine. I like Psychonauts, but never a believer in Double Fine. Now, the next thing Double Fine comes out, I'm going to play day one. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think Turn 10, Forza, I think the same thing. I'll try it out. You know, anything else that's going to come out, now that I have Game Pass, hell yeah, I'll try it out.
And that's the point I'm trying to make with the third party thing. Mm-hmm. It has shown I think instead of Xbox reaching out to publishers, mm-hmm. I think we're gonna get the inverse, where people are reaching out to Xbox for secure money.
Okay.
Because that's what Game Pass is. Secure money, eyes on product, and then if you're a small indie developer, mm-hmm. you get guaranteed money. You know your video game is gonna, you know your company's gonna survive this video game, and then maybe you get new eyes. Okay. And now on your next thing, people are like, oh, you know, they remember this game on Game Pass? Remember how you liked it? Yeah, I played it. It was good. Oh, they're making this. Oh shit, maybe I'll check it out. And just that audience traversing, mm-hmm. that Game Pass audience is a real thing, because that was the part of the heat. Sorry to bring it back to Battlefield, but I'm going to, where people are like, yo, the 10 hours thing is like, was great for Game Pass, don't get me wrong, it's awesome,
right?
But people are like, hey, you had the special edition, mm-hmm. and you got, these people got to play early, but I'm like, you, like, the full Game Pass audience hasn't even attacked your servers yet, and it's already janked. And gotcha. You, like, Game Pass brings an audience, and that audience is there.
I gotcha.
And you know what I mean? It's just like, it's undeniable now. Xbox Game Pass, I would even say Game Pass audience is separate from Xbox fans.
I don't think you're crazy for saying that.
It's a little wild, but it's not that wild.
Yeah, it's not that wild. And I also want to play a little devil's advocate to what you're saying, though, is that so, like you said, you know, Game Pass, and I'm loving this conversation, by the way, it's great. I kind of wish we kind of started with this one, to be honest with you. But with the whole Game Pass thing, like you said, you're gonna probably see publishers come to Game Pass like, hey, yeah, like we want that X amount of dollars, but you know, or whatnot. You know, they're gonna want to have their game put on Game Pass. But I think that's now a double-edged sword, because now you got the publishers like, we know our game's probably shit, so we want our shit on Game Pass, so we can have that guaranteed money right now. You know what I'm saying? And now that's at that hurts the consumer. I feel like, and that being said, hopefully, you know, Xbox or Microsoft has someone like a quality assurance to get in there and be like, listen, that's not gonna fly. You know, that's when you gotta start coming, you know, obviously have that backup.
Apparently, rumor.
Okay.
But apparently, there's been a couple of those situations that have already happened.
I'd love to hear about those, man. If I could be a fly on the wall.
It's one of those things like, hey, I can't say anything.
Damn.
But there's been games that try to run their games through Game Pass, and quality assurance is like, nah, dog, we can't do this. Because it's funny, because you think about like how many like silly games are on Game Pass, and they got in there, but they understand the wealth of video games. They understand that something could be silly and dumb and still be on Game Pass, and you're like, I'll give it a download. Like, yo, Liquid, you want to play this random at like Theme Washer 2000? Like, yeah, let's theme wash some stuff, and we just laugh and we joke around, and like that's what it is. But the game works. But like it's already happened apparently.
Well, hey, if I could be a fly on the wall and listen to those conversations, I would love to see how that goes down.
I would love to see Big Phil just fucking shut someone the fuck
Yo,
out.
for real, just step in and just hit them with that stamp denied on their fucking contract. Just that's what I want. Like a big oversized fucking cartoon stamp and just says it across the
And there's
face.
an X in the background.